Hello Horror Hounds, welcome to my horror house. Last night I watched The Exorcist Believer, the first in a threatened trilogy from writer-director David Gordon Green, the man essentially who captained the Halloween franchise revival and the recent Halloween trilogy of films that we've got. He wants to do the same with the Exorcist franchise, create a legacy sequel that ties directly into the first film and then spin off a new sequel. From that, I want to start by saying that I think the two young girls who perform in this are excellent. They do exactly what's asked of them. They're very creepy. They play possessed well. They play the unpossessed little girls very well. I've got absolutely no issue with them whatsoever. If we can park that and not have them involved in anything else I have to say about the movie, it's dog shit. I fucking hated it. It got poor test scores, it got an instant sort of social media poor reaction, and I see that now there are people sort of coming online saying, hey, I've gone and seen it and it's not as bad as that, don't believe the haters, and fine. And there are some people who are saying, hey, it's actually got something to say, and fine, if you can get something out of it, fine. But what this film really reminds me of most is Halloween Kills. And you remember when Halloween Kills came out, there were a lot of people saying it's just a bunch of people running around saying evil dies tonight and some gnarly kill scenes. And there are other people saying, well, no, actually it's an exploration of, you know, how cycles of violence and historical trauma can affect and infect a town and things like that. And it kind of was saying that, but it was saying it by saying it. And a lot, David Gordon Green, I imagine, and a lot of this film's apologists will say that there is stuff going on in Believer which takes the ideas from the first film about faith and possession and attacks on a family unit and takes that out of the context, the specifically Roman Catholic Church context, and makes it more multi-denominational and about wider things about humanity and togetherness and and yes, it does that, but it does that by telling you about it constantly. This film is so fucking boring. It is just a bunch of fucking people telling you what this film is about, even more so than Halloween Ends. There is a bit at the very end where a woman says, almost practically directly to camera, do you know what evil is? Do you want to know what I think evil is? Evil is da-da-da-da-da. And she might as well have been saying, this is what I think, this is what the film is about. Pay attention, folks, because if you have ignored the dozen other fucking times someone has told you what this movie is about, I'm going to summarise it all, and I don't often do this. Let me counterpoint this. A couple of days before, I watched Saw X, and there's a little mid-credit end sequence, which is pure fan service, but it made me cheer and applaud the screen. Yay! I wasn't asking for much, and I got what I wanted, a little bit of a nod to the fans. 2 days later, I watched the end point of Exorcist Believer with this character saying, and here's what the film's about, folks. And I also don't often do this, because UK cinema audiences are generally quiet and well-behaved. But I said, oh, fuck off, out loud. I had just had enough. One of the absolute beautiful aspects of William Friedkin and William Peter Blatty's movie The Exorcist, and Blatty's novels, and even Blatty's sequel, Exorcist III, is that they concern themselves with ineffable mysteries. Mysteries of faith, supernature, good, evil, humanity's place within that weird soup, free will, destiny. And they allow those mysteries to sing, to be mysterious, to be unexplained. So The Exorcist is a rich meal. There are flavour notes here and there. There are things that you can notice on your 10th viewing that you've never seen before. Little things you can hear that you've never heard before. Things that you can wonder about. Things that you can come to as you move through life, and as you change and the movie stays static, your relationship with the movie will change because it is that rich. And you have the Exorcist believer, which thinks that you are so fucking stupid that it has to tell you again and again and again and again. It's insulting and it's boring, and that second is the greater sin. It's the greatest sin of any movie to be boring. The concept, I will admit, when the trailer came out, piqued my interest. Two girls walk into the woods, think that they've been gone for a few hours, have actually disappeared for 3 days, and they are both possessed by the same spirit, the same demon. Ooh, how is that going to play out? You only need to see the trailer. Everything that's interesting in this movie is in the trailer. The rest of it is mind-numbingly moronic. You have two families, and one of them are religious and instantly sort of go down the demonic possession route, and the other, the family that we follow for the most of it, we're not trading these families off one against another. It is not as interesting as that. The film chooses a path, and we essentially follow this family and this father, and everyone else are just graceless. Honestly, they just pop up to be, well, we're here to represent the Roman Catholic Church. Oh, we're here to represent sort of the more evangelical aspect of the church. Oh, we're here. Oh, we're sort of some Haitian sort of quasi voodoo thing. I don't know. We're the exotic religion. And the family we follow, he's an atheist, or has lapsed and lost his faith, and believes in the science of it. But there's no drama in that. He very quickly, someone hands him a fucking book, which is written by Chris McNeil, the mother in the first movie, about her daughter's possession, which has caused a rift between them. By the way, the first series of the Exorcist TV series did this exact thing and had Chris McNeil write about her experiences as a mother of the possession of her daughter, and that caused a rift, and the daughter has nothing to do with the mother, but explores that in much more interesting way. But yeah, Chris McNeil turns up and goes, oh, all right, fine, I didn't see the original Exorcist, but I've spent the rest of my life learning about exorcism rituals throughout the world, so I'll give it a crack. And then that doesn't work, and everyone else, this little Avengers Assemble fucking moment of let's get people of all different faiths together, and they'll all just give it a go. And oh my god, it's fucking dog shit. It's the exorcism version of let's put the show on in the barn right here, folks. They screw a couple of chairs down to the living room floor, pull one girl out of an institution. She's been institutionalized, but yeah, sure, whatever. The dad can just pull her out and bring her home to do a fucking ill-advised, made up on the spot ritual, which is just a bunch of people doing magpieing little bits and bobs from their particular faiths, because as long as we all do it together, it's the togetherness. The demons want to keep us apart and separate and take our hope and take our spirit. But when people get together, and you know that's what the movie's about because they fucking talk about it endlessly. So even the exorcism, it just fucking happens. I was sat there and the whole thing just washed over me. Majority of the first chunk of the movie is a missing persons movie. Then, because we've spent an awful lot of time with that, and also a preamble where this guy's wife died in childbirth, it kind of doesn't matter. We could have learnt that throughout the movie rather than having to be shown it, but no, David Gordon Green wants to show you rather than let you learn things because he thinks you're too fucking stupid to pick up on it unless he shouts it into your face with a loud hailer. It's not scary. The demon, as you will have seen in the trailer, presents a sort of Sophie's choice to the assembled Marvel Avengers Exorcists. Choose one to live and one to die. And I don't know why all these people of faith just don't instantly, roundly reject this offer from a fucking demon. But there you go. It moves into this weird sort of Sophie's choice territory that also doesn't make sense. The two of them being possessed by the one demon, nothing is done with that. It's an excuse for a bunch of jump scares and one quite effective shot that would have been more effective if it wasn't just ripped straight out of the fucking Insidious movies. We've got little shots of hell and this movie's version of the sort of demon subliminal face flash, which looks more like 1990s shock rock MTV quick cut videos. I'm a completist when it comes to movies like this, to the extent that in the most extreme case I have bought and gotten rid of Halloween Resurrection about 3 times. I've gotten rid of it twice, and the third time I bought it I was like, look, you keep buying it to make the collection complete and have it. And I've made peace. I don't mind having it in my collection. As the credits were rolling on this film, I thought very clearly to myself, I don't want to own this movie. I don't ever want to see this movie again. I don't want it in my collection. This is not part of the Exorcist franchise. And there is a weird place in my head for Exorcist 2 and the 2 prequel movies to sit in this weird Exorcist franchise morass alongside The Exorcist and Exorcist 3. But I don't believe The Exorcist Believer has any place alongside The Heretic. It doesn't have any place alongside The Exorcist: The Beginning or Dominion. God save us if there are to be another 2 movies of this shit.
I bid you welcome.
I welcome you to my house.
Welcome to my house.
Welcome to my home.